welcome back to my channel. So you know what they say, a change of scenery. Actually, they don't say that. We just decided to change the scene today. All right, guys, so I'm so excited to get into today's video. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Says we are talking about growth. Now, growth can be beautiful, but at the same time, it can be very uncomfortable, not just for you, but for the people around you as well, right? So today I'm saying you do not have to apologize. You do not have to be cautious about deciding to grow. But first things first, the most important thing is the state of your heart, your motive. Why do you want to grow, right? That's the first thing. I have to just keep on shouting out to Pastor Edward because his videos are so good. So he has a video which I'm going to link down in my description where he talks about I'm doing this for Dennis. And guys, I was that girl. Somebody says something about my weight, I am going to the gym. Somebody says something about how I'm not consistent, I want to prove that I'm consistent. There is no way you're going to grow like that. That's a wrong way to start. So don't do it for Dennis. Don't do it for Trisha. Don't do it for nobody, all right? The first thing when it comes to growth is why are you deciding to grow? You need to grow for you. You're not growing to prove a point to nobody. I know there's always these little cute posts on Instagram. They're all watching. The people that say you wouldn't do it, the people that are looking up to you, the people that are ignoring you. No, I ain't doing it for nobody that said I'm not going to do it. Maybe for the people that are inspired by me, that is kind of like positive inspiration. But at the bottom of my foundation for doing what I'm doing it for me. Every other person is going to be a beneficiary. Somebody's fetching water outside and it's quite distracting, but let's just ignore that, right? So good. Now, I want to start with this. Not everybody is going to be comfortable with your growth or you're deciding to do better. Not everybody is going to be comfortable. Or you walking in your purpose or you walking in what God has called you to do. This happened to Jesus as well, y'all. When Jesus was beginning to walk in the fullness of what God had called him to do, his own brothers were like, isn't this the Jesus that we've been eating mashed potatoes with? And other people are like, wait, isn't that Jesus from Jerusalem? Like, what's going on, right? So that shows you that sometimes your closest circle, your family, and in this moment, I just want to thank God because I have the most amazing family. I was talking with my brother the other day, and we're just encouraging each other. So if you have that, that's awesome. But if you don't have that, you still have to push regardless, okay? Because Jesus went through it. People try to downplay him. People try to say, isn't that the carpenter's son? Isn't that our brother that we were running around the backyard with? They try to downplay him when he was walking in the fullness of what God had called him to do. So you're no different, right? So today I want us to talk about maybe 3 or 4 areas that you should decide to grow and not be apologetic about it. Number 1, your spiritual life. Do not apologize for deciding to grow in your spiritual life. And let me tell you something, yeah? When it comes to your spiritual life, it's easy to be around people that you're kind of the same with. Because I don't know, there's something about stretching yourself in your spirit that makes other people uncomfortable. For example, you want to grow in prayer. And trust me, I want to balance this really well. You've wholeheartedly decided to grow in prayer and fasting and seeking God. And that calls for cutting off certain social activities. So you decide, that means I'm not going to be on social media so much. That means I'm not going to watch movies anymore. That means I'm not going to really hang out. You do know that that's going to directly affect the people you were watching movies with if you were, the people you were hanging out with if you were, and you're going to get a little bit of So, okay, those of us who still watch movies, are we carnal? You know? I don't know if you've been there. But you don't have to apologize. Just beautifully explain where you're at. And I believe if people are really your friends, they should understand what season you're in. And you're saying, I'm going to pull off a bit of, hanging out, a bit of watching movies because I want to seek God more. So that means I might be less available on the phone. That means I may not be with you when you guys want to go to the park. right? Sometimes stretching yourself spiritually kind of calls for isolation. You see it in the life of Jesus, you see it in the life of John the Baptist, and in this generation of balance, there's all this balance going on. I get it, guys, but sometimes your balance is not my balance. I'm sorry. Okay? We have different seasons that call for different things. So balance in that season might be isolating yourself a little bit. So you do not use what balance means to you to judge others. There's something about stretching yourself in your spiritual life. I don't think you're being judgmental, but your lifestyle kind of just pours judgment on a person. For example, if you decide to grow in prayer and you've stretched yourself to praying for 3 hours or 5 hours, and that's not me saying that's the standard. A person that's only praying for 5 minutes, who may know they're only doing the bare minimum, will feel judged by your life. So they're just going to be like, we need to have balance. Do you get what I'm trying to say? This whole balance movement, that's what I'm trying to say. So communicate when you want to, stretch yourself, because it's gonna bring a difference in the dynamics of how you live your life. You're not gonna be as available as you were. But the most important thing you need to do to the people that are so important to you is communicate. Tell them, guys, I am going on a path, on a journey that's gonna demand more of me being by myself. It doesn't mean you guys are not important anymore. It doesn't mean you're not spiritual anymore, but this is just where I am, and this is what I need to do. All right, so do not apologize for wanting to grow in your spiritual life. Number 2, this one's touchy. Do not apologize for wanting to grow in your English, your vocabulary, your accent, your diction, whatever. I've had to deal with people saying, you don't really talk the way you really talk in your videos, or you don't really sound Zambian. What does you don't even sound Zambian mean? Some say you don't sound Nigerian. What does sounding Nigerian mean? Right? Guys, if a person has decided to grow themselves, it doesn't matter where they came from. I remember a Nigerian pastor I watched maybe 5 or 6 years ago. He was starting a YouTube channel, and I happened to bump into one of his videos recently. His accent, his diction, his vocab, there has been so much growth. He does not sound like how he was sounding 6 years ago. And personally, I was very excited. I'm like, look at that. Look at growth. Now, before I continue, I'm not advocating for being fake. Like, there's a difference between growing and faking. For example, there's a difference between sculpting your body by going to the gym, doing them squats, doing all those things for certain muscles to be more obvious, and going for plastic surgery. There's a difference, right? So when I talk about this whole accent thing, you have to actually be growing, like authentically be growing, not some pretense you just master. No, I mean actual growth. You can actually grow. Right? So you can work on how you pronounce your words. You can work on how, you say certain things, the speed, whatever. Do not apologize for wanting to repackage yourself in whatever way. Do not apologize for wanting to read more books. Do not apologize for wanting to watch more programs that are going to help you. I've realized that I never actively sit to work on how I talk, but the more I keep listening to certain people, I realize that it begins to rub off on me in a different way. And that's good. That's progress, okay? You're allowed to grow in how you talk. You're allowed to sound different. You don't have to sound Zambian, Nigerian. You can decide to grow better. I remember one of the prophets that I follow, he's also like in entrepreneurship and something. So he went to speak to some young people, right? He's black, he's Nigerian, but he grew up in the UK. And because he was sounding so intelligent, like the use of his words and things like that, guys, they said he sounds like a white man. And these are black people. It's not white people. Black people were like, he sounds like a white man. What does that even mean? What do you mean? So only white people read books and sound intelligent? Do you get that kind of thing? Sometimes, honestly, we stereotype ourselves, and we're comfortable in stereotyping ourselves. So when you see someone coming out of the comfort zone, no, you don't sound African, let's stick to our roots. What does stick to your roots mean? I'm so passionate about this, guys. So yeah, if you're deciding to work on packaging yourself, be mentally, sounding better, sounding different, being more educated, do not apologize. If anyone tells you, how are you sounding? Why are you talking like that? Tell them I'm out here trying to improve myself. Okay? 2, 3. Do not apologize for wanting to become fit. Okay? For deciding to go to the gym, for deciding to eat healthy, for deciding to stop to eat junk food or whatever. Do not apologize. I remember there's someone, I won't mention his name, but years ago, I had posted a picture. I think I was having a steak, a chicken steak, and some broccoli and carrots. And he commented on my status and said, "Mama, why are you punishing yourself?" I'm like, what do you mean? And the food was actually good. Look, I'm an advocate for good looking, good tasting food, okay? So the food was actually good. I'm not those people who just want to boil broccoli and throw it. It's going to be properly spiced. It's just going to be yummy. Years later, this person is now in fitness, and when I post rice, he comes for me because why are you not eating rice? So you see, it's a change of mindset. So sometimes when you engage into gym, some people will tell you, why are you wasting your money in the gym? And those are the same people who use that same money to go to McDonald's. The equivalent of what you pay for the gym, they use for McDonald's in a day. Why are you punishing yourself? Why are you eating grass? You're not an animal. You're not I have seen a number of people, guys, who criticize people that were in fitness who later went into fitness. I have seen a number of them, live and direct. They criticized you in the beginning. They said you're wasting time, you're wasting money, but when they went, they loved it as well. Okay? So sometimes people are literally criticizing you because your choices is kind of placing some judgment on their life. So do not apologize for wanting to be fit, wanting to say no to certain foods. Do not apologize. Whether you're the only one in your family doing that and people are not being supportive, don't feel some type of way and decide, I'm not going to, do this because I'm the only person. No. Lastly, because we don't want this to be too long, do not apologize for deciding to look the part wherever you want to go. So you're beginning to dress differently. Now, I like to balance things real well. I'm not saying break a bank, rob a bank, go broke, go into debt because you're trying to repackage yourself and look better. No, it has to be within your means. Thrift. How many times do I need to preach this sermon to y'all? Thrift! You're going to find really classic pieces at a very affordable price. So you can decide to look a certain way. You may just be going into town, going to church. Look the part and don't apologize for it. Okay? If people are saying, oh, you're overdressing, what's the occasion, yada, yada, that's on them. I'm going somewhere. I want to look like where I'm going. Okay? So I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do it within the right means for the right motive. Lastly, I said this when starting, you're not changing, you're not growing to prove a point to anybody. You're doing it for you. You're doing it for your assignment. You're doing it for your generation in a healthy way. Stop all that. They're watching. The people that say you wouldn't do it. The people, I don't care who's watching. I'm not doing this for you. If you said I won't make it, I'm sorry. I'm not out here living my life to prove to you that I'm going to make it. No, that's just so much negative energy, negative inspiration. I'm living my life because Jesus died for me to have an abundant life, and I have things to do on this earth. So when I decide to grow, most of the things I do are focused around the fact that, I have things to do on this earth. So I need the right body for it. I need to be fit for it. I'm going to be doing a lot of things. I just turned 30 some months ago. So I'm going to be doing a lot of things in my 30s that I have loved to do in my 20s. So I need the energy. I need it. And so I work out. I'm going to be talking to a certain type of people. So I need to increase my vocab range. I'm going somewhere. I'm headed somewhere. So I need to work on myself, and I'm not going to apologize for doing that. So that's the same thing for you, okay? I have a generation to impact, people on fire to raise. I'm not apologizing for isolating myself to pray and to study the word. And because I cannot watch no movie with you. And I'm not saying watching movies is bad, but if I'm in that season, you're not going to make me feel bad about it. I'm sorry. So you need to do the same. All right, guys. So until my next video, it's goodbye. God bless. If you're here for the first time, do subscribe. We have premium content coming your way. If you're a returning subscriber, super appreciate you. Thank you for always being here. So yeah, do the things, guys. Share, like, comment, and let's talk. Tell me areas of growth that you decided to do and people were like, nah, that's not going to work. Did you decide to run a business and people were just being all negative Nancy on you? Saying, no, that won't thrive. Don't start a YouTube channel. Don't do this. Don't do that. Come on, tell me in the comments how it went down. See you guys in my next video.